What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Mythic Gamers. You guys are here with Clan Killa, and today we have a special episode for you guys. Today we're going to be talking about we're going to be doing more of a Destiny 2 review and going over the status of the game. And while we're doing this review, we're going to be playing some Iron Banner 6v6, so let's get it started. So just to start things out, I want to go ahead and first off say a couple things. If I start to trail off during this video, because I'm going to be doing a review and a timeline, all the changes that have happened in Destiny and all the changes that are coming in the game, if I start to trail off because I'm in a gunfight, I do apologize. Second off, if anything is off with my timeline, I apologize for that as well. And I have to give a shout out to Houndish. If you guys have never checked out his YouTube channel, if you guys are into Destiny, he has all the latest Destiny 2 news. He's been around for a while. He has some really good videos. Check him out. He's who I got a lot of my information from. So to start things out, I wanted to first just go over Destiny 2, the game, kind of review everything that's happened. The game's obviously been out for about 7 months, and there's been mixed feedback. A lot of players have been unhappy with Destiny 2 and what has happened with the game. I personally have liked a few things about the game, but I can see what people are upset about. I definitely see where the complaints are, that Destiny 2 fell short with the amount of content. It had some problems. They've had to fix or change almost everything about the game up to this point, and you're thinking, like, the game came out 7 months ago, so obviously they didn't do very good testing. They didn't really look into detail. I think that the game was rushed, but let's go ahead and get into the timeline. To start things out, I want to first address the launch game. So when the game launched, you had a couple different activities that you could play. First of all, you had the campaign. The campaign, I think, was an appropriate length. It wasn't too long or too short. You had to play it with all 3 characters, so if it was any longer, it would have been kind of painful. Some people even thought it was a little painful, but I think that if you make the campaign too short, there are people who actually like campaigns and stories, that they would have felt cheated. Other than the campaign, you had strikes, the Crucible, public events, the raid, and Trials of the Nine. Obviously, a couple of those came out a week or two after, but that's kind of your initial launch game. And then the launch, I think, was good. I don't think that that was the problem. There was definitely an appropriate amount of content to start the game out. You had the Leviathan raid. The Leviathan raid was great. One of the coolest things I've ever played on a video game, I think. If you bought Destiny 2 and you didn't play the Leviathan raid, you're definitely missing out on a huge part of the game. So just to kind of, like, for the sake of argument, I want to go over, like, if I say casual players versus hardcore gamers. You know, your casual gamers, just for the purpose of this argument, are going to be people who, like, play the Crucible and the Nightfall. And your hardcore gamers are going to be Prestige Raid, you know, your Trials of the Nine flawless guys. And obviously there's people who land in between, but just for the sake of this video, we'll label them as that. So after the launch of the game, you had a couple activities that came out to keep people engaged. Those activities were the Prestige Raid, Iron Banner, let's see, the Faction Rally, and I liked all that content that they put out. It was definitely enough to keep you engaged while you're waiting for the first DLC to come out. It wasn't a ton of content, but it was at least enough to get me close to the DLC, to the Osiris DLC. The Osiris DLC is where stuff started to go downhill. Definitely, and I think most people that have played the game would agree with me on that. So the Curse of Osiris DLC comes out, and around the same time is when the Dawning happens. There's a lot of negative feedback about the Dawning. It was pretty much microtransactions within Destiny 2, so you could pay for a different set of armor. You could play for it, but it was pretty much impossible to earn through just playing. You pretty much had to pay if you wanted all of it. So people got pretty upset, you know, like it's like a paywall. But for me, it's just cosmetic, so I wasn't too concerned about it. Like, there are a lot of games that have that. You can pay for more cosmetic stuff. Why not take advantage of something like that if you guys are making a game? I definitely didn't feel as strongly about it as some people did. How upset they got. But there were some things with Curse of Osiris that came out that I was upset with. Some of the things that came out, you know, the campaign was really short. Mercury, the new destination, was really small. Only one public event. They hyped it up so much to just be this massive public event, and that was like their whole like platform. And it was one, and it wasn't that cool. I didn't think. You don't get that many rewards from it, so I wasn't that impressed with that. The raid layer comes out. Now the raid layer I thought was really cool, but it was short, so that was the only drawback to the raid layer. And this is where my major concern came in, is there was no prestige for the raid layer. It never came out because they were saying that they wanted to revamp the reward system. I don't know, like, what does that have to do with, you know, you guys taking away the content that we paid for? I did have a big complaint with that. They came out with Masterwork weapons, which was one of the positives I thought about the Curse of Osiris DLC. Undeniable. Here we just got a Mercy win. So Masterwork weapons, pretty much you get these Masterwork weapons at random, and then you can dismantle them, and you can make whatever weapons you want into Masterwork. Other than that, the weapon foraging, that was also something good that came in the Curse of Osiris DLC. But there were a couple controversial things that loaded in. The Prometheus lens and the colony, that was kind of a whole mess. If you guys don't know about that, the colony is a grenade launcher that seeks its enemies. So you just shoot it towards where the people are, and the grenades, they're like these little mechanical robots, almost like mechanical spiders that crawl towards the people and then blow them up. And it's like 2 automatic kills if you get that power ammo with the colony. The Prometheus lens is like it's a auto rifle that shoots a constant red beam, and it was super overpowered when the DLC came out, so they just gave it to everyone, and everyone was just using that one weapon, and it was just silly. So when the Curse of Osiris came out, there was a lot of negative feedback about the game, and that's really when I think the game recognized that they needed to up their game, because as soon as people beat the Curse of Osiris and were all disappointed, people started falling off the game super quick. So that's when they started to change a lot about the game. Some of the changes that came after Curse of Osiris, they brought in some different PvP matches that included Rumble, which is like a free-for-all, Mayhem, which is like you just get your supers instantly, and I wasn't too fond of that game as well. There were some changes to the Nightfall. They made this Nightfall challenge card, which was like pretty much they eliminated the time. There used to be a time limit on the Nightfall, and if you instead of trying to complete it in that time limit, you now try to get a high score, which it's kind of weird because there's a set amount of enemies to kill. So at first when it came out, I was kind of put off by it, that like, well, you can only get a certain score. But then once I got the challenge card, I figured out that you could up the difficulty of the game and get a higher score. So that was a positive. It got me to play the Nightfall again. And then they came out with the Nightfall, like some secret items that you could get in the Nightfall. So each Nightfall has a specific item that you have to grind for to get randomly dropped. And the drop rate isn't easy. There are some people that get in a couple matches, and there's some people, like, I beat it like 10 times last week, and I didn't get the secret item. So I mean, they got me to play the Prestige Nightfall over and over again. So I guess it worked in that aspect.
Zone B captured. Zone advantage is yours. Your lead grows sharper.
Oh gosh. So they brought the Crimson Days. The Crimson Days I thought was a joke. 2v2, like 4v4 is kind of hard to play. Like, it's a little slow. I'm not sure if I want 6v6 on every game type, but lowering it to 2v2 and telling your team that they have to stay together and, like, oh my gosh, that was insanely slow. It was so bad, so boring. I hated it.
All of you together, like Iron Lords.
Damn, I just suicide. So they brought a couple changes to the armor. They brought some different mods, a different mod system to the armor. They have raid mods. So now if you beat the raid and you get raid armor, you can get even better at the raids, which is, I don't know, it made me want to collect multiple sets of armor. So I guess it got me to grind that a little bit. And then they also came out with Masterwork armor. Masterwork armor, again, you collect the Masterwork cores, and from dismantling Masterwork random drops, and then you can make a set of armor stronger than your other sets of armor. It makes it so you don't die in your super as easily. So it's not super good, but it's worth doing. Like, it got me playing a little extra. So I guess all these things that got me to play a little bit more, I guess it worked. But so now we're to the more recent stuff. Just recently, they did a huge, what they call the Go Fast update, which pretty much all the weapons that they didn't use, that nobody used in the game, they pretty much made stronger so that people would use them. And then they made the characters a lot faster. They wanted to make the game more exciting. And I like what happened with this Go Fast update. I thought it was really cool. A lot of people are using different weapons. Not everybody's using the Uriel Gift and Mida Mini Tool or Mida Multi Tool, which were the two primarily used weapons, and the Antiope D. People still use the Antiope because they didn't really do enough to that, I don't think. But other than that, that pretty much sums us up to the current, like, where Destiny is at right now. Now, the Warmind DLC is set to release here in about 2 weeks. There's supposed to be a lot more changes coming in the future, but they're not exactly saying when. And I'm scared that some of these changes aren't going to come right away. They're going to put these changes off, and if they don't release some of this good content on May 8th and soon after, people aren't going to want to wait till September to buy the new DLC. Why would you pay more money to play a game that isn't that good, that you're like skeptical about? I definitely am not going to want to. So some of the changes that they're bringing to the game, they're going to do a huge buff to all the exotics in the game. They're going to try and make all the exotics better, because right now, or at least before, you could have run 3 legendary weapons and you wouldn't even care that you didn't have an exotic. So the whole, like, exotic was just kind of like pointless, because you could roll into a match and be just as strong as everyone else without using any exotics.
That's two. Fine work. I expect nothing less.
So one of the other changes, I'm definitely gonna die right here. One of the other changes that they're bringing to the game is more changes to the Crucible. The Crucible is definitely one of the big things that they failed on in this game. You know, your casual players that just want to have fun, you know, the people that like Call of Duty, that you know, pick Destiny up. The Crucible was so terrible that you couldn't retain a lot of those casual players, and that's like, that causes like an exponential decline in the game. When you go to play Trials of the Nine and there's literally no average players on there, you face like sweaty streamers every 3 matches. Why would you want to play Trials anymore? Because it's like humiliating. You have no chance of getting flawless. I know guys like that are primarily raid players who never even got a win on Trials, and it's because there's no normal people that play it. Because the casual players do not want to play it because it was so bad. One of the changes that they want to bring is like a Crucible ranking. Nice. So this should make it so that you have a ranking and you get ranked against players that are closer to your level, which should make the game better.
That's two.
Sorry guys, get a bunch of kills. Had to pause for a second right there. So, and we took a pretty good lead. So now I'm going to move on to some of the things that I'd recommend for the game, and obviously some of these are too late to change. Some of these, like, Destiny can't fix them; they already messed them up, you know. First off, one of the big fall-offs that I saw, other than the Crucible sucking, was because they didn't come out with the Prestige raid for the raid layer. There was like not enough content between December and May. There wasn't enough content to keep people on the game. So now you're relying on like your DLCs being so good to bring people back to the game, and that's a slippery slope. That's hard to think that that's actually going to happen. So the fact that they didn't come out with the Prestige raid layer, that just, I think that just kind of destroyed the game for your raid players. They're not gonna want to play the game anymore. Like they would have been done playing the Curse of Osiris in the raid layer, the normal raid layer, in like January. So why would they stay on the game February, March, April, May? That doesn't make any sense. Damn, I got killed at the end. Yeah, man. What's up? You Ain't Red. Thanks for subbing to the channel. Welcome to the stream. We're talking about the status of Destiny 2 right now. Kind of going over what's happened, what's changed with the game. Trying to see if people should get back on the game, if people should buy the game. Kind of talking about that. I'm like ripping on them right now. That's the section. That's kind of what I'm on right now. Just kind of ripping on them. Another thing that I think that they needed to change, that they kind of jacked up, was the token system with Destiny 2. So, hey, Defiant, Evo Media, thank you for subscribing to the channel. Welcome to the stream. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Yeah, Destiny 2, definitely. I love Destiny as well, man. But yeah, it's been rough. I definitely think since Curse of Osiris came out, the game has gone really downhill, and I hope that the game comes back, but again, like, why would people pay for the new DLC if the game is sucking? I mean, like, we all paid for these DLCs and the, you know, the raid layers, the Prestige raid layers, and they're not giving us enough, you know. So why would I, you know, and I probably will get the DLCs. But your average player, yeah, the 6v6 is awesome, man. I love it. They should have, if this would have been I think quick play should have been 6v6 the whole time. Your trials and your competitive can remain 4, but I think quick play, your clash control should always be 6v6. It's a lot more fun. So one thing, let's see, game drop max level within a week. People are doing the yeah. I mean, I think getting to a max level was way too easy, especially when it seemed like when I got to 260 when the game first came out. Yeah, man. Go ahead and add me. ClanKiller69 is my game tag. I'm down to play whenever. But so when I got to 260, it was really hard to grind. Not really hard, but it was decently difficult to get to 300. And then from 300 to 330, it seems like it only took like 10 days, like 2 weeks worth of Luminous Engrams, and that was way too easy. Way too easy. No, I'm only on Xbox, but the mod system I think is just silly. I don't like the mod system at all, and almost the storage system as a whole. So like, cool, I got you, Legendary Lone Wolf, got you, man. I just went to dismantle a bunch of stuff and turn in a bunch of stuff to the gunsmith, and it told me my postmaster was full. Like, even the guy who's supposed to hold stuff after you run out of room, he ran out of room. And like, I don't even have that much stuff. I didn't have that many weapons. It was all just like crappy mods. Yeah, I got into this with some people on Houndish's comments. So he was like, there's not that many exotics, and I'm like, well, there's 75 exotics, but you don't use any of them, so you don't even know about all the exotics because nobody uses them. Everybody uses the same 15 exotics. They're crappy and they're easy to get. So I mean, it ups the value of the exotics if they're harder to get and they're better. If people actually want them, actually want to put them on. And now that's what they're trying to do. But it's like, yeah, oh yeah, no, that's what I was saying earlier, is that you could run 3 legendaries. You could run whatever, Antiope, Uriel Gift, and Sins of the Past, and you have a better loadout than everybody else. It doesn't even matter that you're not using an exotic. The fact that you can't delete multiple shaders at the same time, the fact that there's no room, the fact that they had to make more vault space, like it's just ridiculous. Like, they didn't test the game out at all before it came out. I don't know. I think that the small things add up to make people frustrated about the game. And I don't know if Nameless is better than Mida. I don't know about that. Mida, at least, I don't know about post Go Fast, but Mida was pretty good before the Go Fast. There, I just got your message, Legend. I'm gonna play this one last match, and then I'm probably gonna get off for the night. I do stream usually like Thursday through Sunday. I stream Destiny, Fortnite, a bunch of different games. Oh man, we got messed up right there. This is just kind of like a review video. I want to go over like the state of Destiny. I want to, I have a lot of friends that played Destiny when it first came out and then just jumped off the game, and I want to know, like, should they get back on? That's kind of
opponent claimed zone.
That's kind of what I was getting at for this video. Oh man. This dude, main ingredient, jacked me up. Yeah, I was running. What was I running? I was running Nameless Midnight mostly when I was using the Colony.
Zone C captured. Opponent claimed Zone B. Zone advantage is yours.
Dang, it is really hard to talk and play at the same time. Usually I'm just playing and doing a live stream, but today I actually had like a goal in mind. No way, grenades got me. But yeah, make sure you guys catch me on my next videos. I definitely think Destiny's heading in the right direction, but they need to come out with this stuff fast. They can't just like, you know, mess around too much. They need to come out with the prestige raid layers. If they don't come out with the prestige raid layers, people are going to get bored of this game super fast, and they're not going to want to pay for the next DLC.
You captured Zone B.
Oh, faced way too many guys right there. I actually heard that D2, they actually made the game in about a year because they cut it off, changed personnel, completely went in a different direction with the game. That's why I think the game was rushed. They probably should have taken another year of testing for the game. I think that's one of the problems that happened.
I believe you, Guardian. Take
Yeah, I
this
mean,
fight to them.
the new game mode, that is interesting. That it'll be interesting to see what the new game mode is that they come out with. To see, because it could be pretty awesome. That could literally, like, coming out with that and a couple of good raids could literally save this game and get people to get back on, you know. But again, I'm not gonna tell people to get back on yet. I'm not gonna put. Oh my gosh.
That shut them down.
I think Trials of the Nine, with not having that many people on it, has definitely like taken away from what Trials was. You know, without a lot of people playing it, it's kind of tough.
Zone C captured. Zone advantage is yours.
Oh my gosh, I swear I pressed melee to that.
Zone B lost.
You talking about like just remaking some of the stuff from D1? Where's this guy at? Let's go, boy. Oh, my teammates killed him. I need my super kills.
Good counter. Now hit them again.
Those pulse grenades, they barely do anything anymore. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that they should have rolled out at the beginning when the game came out. Private matches, 6v6. I mean, we could sit here and go on all day about the stuff that they should have came out with when the game came out. That's why I was saying that they've changed everything about this game since it came out. And it's like, is that really acceptable? They've changed everything about this game since it came out. I went out before I had enough health. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and call this stream. Thank you guys so much for stopping in and watching me play some Iron Banner 6v6. If you guys want to hear everything that I had to say about Destiny and go over the review, you guys obviously know a lot about Destiny, but go back and watch the video. Make sure you guys show some love on the channel, leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell notification if you guys want to see whenever I go live. I go live on, what is it, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays. Usually I don't go live on Monday through Wednesday, but thank you guys for stopping by and have a good night.